Liverpool are in the mud. Put those I want to move on to Liverpool. And viewers, stay with us. We'll be touching more on Chelsea and the rest of the Premier League later. Stay with the show. Make sure you're hitting like buttons. Getting towards 5,500 watching us live. So make sure you're all hitting the like button, subscribing, and turn on the bell notifications. But what now for Liverpool? I want to go to Chatty on this, bro, because they've missed out on Caicedo. They've missed out on Lavia. They look an absolute joke right now, and the laughing stock just got funnier. There's holes in that midfield, and they've supposedly inquired today for Tchouaméni, but Real Madrid said do one. Amrabat is openly saying he wants. Who are they going to end up with? What can Liverpool do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There needs to be a plan and a structure, and obviously the window is winding down. So they need to really lock in with some targets and get them across the line now. Because like Don's saying, they messed around and pissed off Lavia. Caicedo, they went in all guns blazing, but they didn't really lock in the player before they did that. And he's obviously chosen to go Chelsea, and they're kind of looking like they're just getting egg on the face. They're a huge club, some fantastic players. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp is a world-class manager, but there doesn't seem to be a direction. They kind of knew Henderson was on his last legs, and so was Fabinho, so was Milner, and it seems like they didn't do any forward planning when every Liverpool fan and every football fan could see what was going on. I don't know. The question you asked me, Terry, is a good shout. I didn't even know they got turned out by Amrabat. I wasn't even privy to that one. So that's another shock hearing that. I don't know, man. The thing is, there's so many good midfielders out there, but they really need to get a move on because the window is winding down. And you could see watching yesterday, they do lack some midfield presence. Defensively, they look okay. Going forward, they're always going to look good. But in the middle of the park, Chelsea just ran them ragged. And they started quickly, to be fair. And then Chelsea just started imposing on them. And there was only one team that was going to win that game, if any team was going to win it, and it was Chelsea. Better finishing on the day, as in, Chilwell. If he had his shooting boots on, Chelsea should have won that game, man. So, I don't know. You know, thankfully, I'm not a football scout, and obviously, I don't really care about Liverpool with all due respect. So I'm not really looking at who they should get, but they do need to figure it out because the window's winding down. And you know what Klopp's like, innit? Klopp's a spoiled little, without me swearing. And it's funny because he just contradicted himself massively with that Lavia thing. Before, even it's weird because Liverpool are a cash-rich club. We know how they operate, but even I was kind of feeling sorry for them. But when the whole Caicedo thing came into fruition, he killed himself with that one. You know, he said, when people have to pay £100 million for midfielders or footballers, that's the day I stopped, you know, being a football manager, or that's the day football's done. And then what do they go and do? So yeah, it's a sticky one. It is a sticky one. Yeah, I don't know, Terry. What do you think? What do you actually think about it?
I think it's horrendous. It's a horrendous summer for them. Liverpool have set a standard over the last few years of challenging for the Premier League as a minimum, is their minimum expectation. Based on that standard, they have set themselves as the self-proclaimed biggest club in England, most successful and most successful club in England, factually. In my opinion, Liverpool's season, as far as the Premier League is concerned, is already over. They might make it back into a Champions League position, but they're not challenging for the title. So therefore, by default, their season is already a failure. Because again, they might turn it around in these next 2 weeks. They might land another star that turns their team around. But I saw the same thing against Chelsea as I did for the majority of last season, last campaign. They are leaking like a broken fridge, and they concede too many opportunities and chances. And Chelsea haven't even clicked. When they come up against Brighton's, Brentford's, Man United's,
Newcastle,
Everton's,
Tottenham,
Man City, and Tottenham and Chelsea will click. They look very good yesterday for their first day. Those teams, especially when Liverpool away from home, are going to rip them apart. That's too many teams taking points off you for you to compete for the league. Therefore, it's already a failure. I think I still have them finishing in the top 5 and in a Champions League position, but they can't be lowering the standards back down to that. Klopp's under huge and immense pressure because a big part of this is on him. And I know the FSG, like the likes of Kurdish and Hussam, don't like to call it. They like to separate them completely. But it was last year, and they called Klopp out for this. Last year, he was the one that refused to buy midfielders. And this is a problem. They refused to go in and spend the money last year. Klopp did. Now, because the world changes. There are 2 or 3 other projects that are now seen as more attractive. Because a year or 2 ago, there's no way the likes of Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal are taking some of the best midfielders available in Europe away from Liverpool. Whether you rate Mount or not, Liverpool wanted him, Man United got him. They've inquired about Amrabat. He only wants Man United. There's no way Declan Rice 2 years ago is going to Arsenal over Liverpool. There's no way Chelsea have taken both Caicedo and Lavia away from them. They've fallen and they've missed out on opportunities. Their ownership are the most accountable, but so is Jurgen Klopp. And for me, their Premier League set campaign is over before it's even begun.
Terry, you forgot to mention one other person. Do you know what it is? I didn't want to bring this one up. Levi Colwill. That's another one their fans were getting giddy about. I told them he just needs to have a conversation with Poch. They're getting excited. Oh, we're going to get Levi. We're going to get Levi. And that's another one that took an L on. You know what I mean? So, boy, I don't know.
And fourth, we've got to blame Grizz Khan. Grizz Khan again coming out and saying publicly, I can guarantee you Lavia's got. He did with Jude, he's done it again. Grizz Khan curse continues. Stop doing it, Grizz. You got bad judge on your club. Yeah, I don't know. You lot might disagree with me, but I just, again, look, they could win a cup this year. Of course they could. You know, and they could have an okay season. But for me, their Premier League campaign's already over.
Even if they're bringing a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, if they don't go and sign someone of at least Lavia's quality or above. But the question is, who's out there? Who's out there? Well, that's a genuine question for the panel.
For me, we can't afford for Liverpool to get this right, to be honest, because right now, the way it's looking for Tottenham, we need teams to be flopping or weak in certain areas. First and foremost, Liverpool have had 7 years of complete bliss. So they need to go through the other side of things. They need to start struggling. They need to have a hard time. And last season was the beginning of the kind of fall from grace, as it were. So for me, it's good. Good they didn't get Lavia. Good they didn't get Caicedo. I hope they get it wrong, because that's one less team that Tottenham have to worry about in challenging for the top 4. Because if Liverpool get it right now, the top 4 is looking kind of long right now, because you still got Arsenal, City, United tonight are going to do bits against Wolves, Newcastle, Chelsea. Come on. So we need to start plucking them out one by one. Liverpool, I hope you get this wrong. And move them out of the way, and we get another team in it.
And I want to just say something about this Liverpool thing, because I think they are slow in this window and everything. But in my opinion, Liverpool are the only team apart from Arsenal and Man City. They're one player away from having the starting 11 that can compete for the league. People just forget that because they don't have a DM. In my opinion, they have a bunch of 24, 25 years olds. Still Trent Alexander-Arnold. You get it right. He's one of the most creative players in the league. They have Van Dijk. They have Konate. They have the best goalkeeper in the league. They have a front line that can score goals for fun if they get the protection behind them. The problem is that they went for Caicedo and they couldn't compete with Chelsea. Chelsea just offered more money. They couldn't compete with Chelsea for Lavia. Should have gone for someone maybe earlier like Tchouameni. Try to offer that money. If you have that much money, you go secure Tchouameni, and then you have your starting 11 seriously can compete for the league. I don't know why people just dismiss that. They have 6 players up top, 4 of them can score goals, 4 of them are creative, and they still have Van Dijk and the best goalkeeper in the league. I'm not a Liverpool fan.
Do you know what I'd say, Mo? My issue is how many opportunities they leak per game. You can't win a Premier League title or challenge for it leaking that volume of opportunities. But all teams, even City, will have opportunities created against them per game. But Liverpool's, for me personally, is so consistent. They're like a polo. It just everything falls through the middle. It just does every single time.
Yeah.
So you guys don't think that one DM, competent DM, like Casemiro, for example, that went to Man United. Look at Man United, immense form at home last year. The best defense. One DM can do that for you.
If they sign Casemiro level DM, I might change my mind. So who is that Casemiro level DM they can sign in the next season?
Then all they're in for Tchouameni then. If they have 115 million, Real Madrid were willing to sit at the table for Tchouameni for less money than what they offered for Caicedo. I'm calling FSG incompetent people. They are incompetent people, but it's still a business. They can go and do the business. They can try to actually go for someone. I don't know who else. They can go for Kimmich, who was rumored to leave Bayern Munich earlier this year, earlier in the window. Why not? So people just tell me that Liverpool have no pull. Jurgen Klopp has no value of calling a player and tell him to go to Liverpool. If they don't compete with Chelsea, Okay, they have a pull. If they go to Tchouaméni and offer £100 million for Tchouaméni, I'm sure Real Madrid will be tempted. Why is that?
The thing is, Mo, it's not an easy fix the way you're making it sound, because they've lost out on two big targets now. Do you know what I mean? They've lost out on a Casado, they've lost out on a Lavia, and let's be real. Even if they bring one DM in, if that DM gets injured, what happens then? They haven't got the squad depth. They need at least two midfielders. That's why I was saying when they were linked to Lavia, they need to bring in a Lavia and they need to bring in a Paulinho. They need two. So I get what you're saying, because I was saying the same thing. I was saying, listen, if they get Casado, they're going to challenge. I literally said it on the last top six. I said they're going to challenge. But Liverpool need at least two midfielders, at least two solid midfielders. If I was them, Paulinho's injured right now, go get him and then go get Douglas Luiz or something like that.
That would be a good sign-in. I want to just say as well about this deal, and this just goes to prove why when clubs walk away from deals, it's often about being rejected. So what Ornstein has also stated is that the deal for Caicedo will be 50 million plus add-ons. They believe it's going to be the same 55 million. So they're going to be rejecting a higher bid from Liverpool at 60 million, or accepting a lesser bid because the player doesn't want to join Liverpool. Therefore, the bid being higher is obsolete because the player doesn't want to join Liverpool. So they're going to get him cheaper. So that's why clubs don't always have to outbid each other. If the player doesn't want to join, your bid is inconsequential. There's some more super chats here I want to go to. This comes from Nassi that says Liverpool's defense is horrid. Defenses win titles. VVD is finished. Konate and Mario and Joe Gomez are washed and injury prone. Tchouaméni not for sale.
They do need at least one more centre back, definitely, preferably two, I think.
Yeah. Well, I said that.
I agree. Players on a performance basis. No one talks about it. Chelsea are building in a different culture. The owners wanted to create a healthy wage structure, is what Sesko says, which is true. Nobbins, a lawyer, plays both sides. What if it was Man United?
Sorry, I don't know what that means.
It means you wouldn't defend Man United like you defend City.
Is it the exact same set of circumstances? So you can't change reality. It doesn't matter who the club is based on. So if United are in the exact same circumstance, I would indeed be saying the same thing, because
Nobbins is pretty fair. This here from AFC Singh says Liverpool need to act quick, otherwise they will be left with McTominay and El Neni on the market. But for real, they should go for Onana. But then again, it's Everton. Yes, again, Everton probably wouldn't do the deal.
Onana's not that good. He's not good enough to play for Liverpool. I don't know. I'm not sure.
They're going to have to firm it. They're going to have to firm it.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for someone. But Onana, the fans will be screaming that they want him out within 2 or 3 months. He's not good enough on the ball. He's not tidy enough. He's not a Liverpool player. No way.
No.
Yeah, Blazer says here that Southampton rejected 60 million from Liverpool to accept 50 million from Chelsea. 55 million it'll be from Chelsea. Seems like it's not just players rejecting Liverpool. Sam needs a lawyer now. I swear this week is long. And it goes into this super chat that says where is Dom Hussam to discuss how much pull Liverpool have over teams in the Premier League but City? Yeah, Hussam's out of mare here. I will be calling him out on Straight Facts on Friday, because I've been asking for this for about 2 years now, for two clubs to legitimately go head to head and have bids accepted for a player. And it's happened twice in a week now, and Liverpool have lost that to Chelsea twice. So if any debates are going on now, which club has the biggest pull? Right now in 2023, for one reason or another, Chelsea are proven to have more pull than Liverpool. Or am I capping now? What are we saying?
No, facts. You're right.
Facts.
It's the facts. But you got to also look at it from the perspective of the player as well. You know, I'm glad that you raised the point about the player also gets to choose, because I think sometimes we just forget about that. Players do have choice. And when you look at the profile of Lavia, he's a young boy from the UK, come through the academy system at Man City. When you're looking around, the kind of fellow England under 21 players, Chelsea.
He's from Belgium. He's actually from Belgium.
Is he Belgium? Okay.
Yeah, he came through Anderlecht. Yeah.
But when you're looking at the boys that you wanna play with, grow with, develop with, it's Chelsea. They've got the man them right now. They've got the man them who can put that ball about and put pressure on teams. And that's the bit for me that scared me yesterday, because Poch ain't even started yet. And that's what's scary. So when you're looking at it just from an outside perspective, Is Liverpool looking scary? Not really. They did all right,